Hey YouTube, it's your old pal Bromine, back again with a sketch video. Trying to get consistent with these, like I said in the previous videos, and so posting here again. I think it's been a couple of weeks since the last video. This one, I debated on whether showing this or not, because it's a long video and it kind of goes nowhere for a long time. But I thought it was interesting in that, one, you see where my struggles are. I'd like to say it's my process, but it's not. It's really where my struggles are. And one of those struggles is form and, really coming up with something original as far as a pose or anatomy, and keeping everything in space the way it should be, whether that's perspective or foreshortening. And it's sometimes you see these videos, people drawing, and it seems as if they know exactly what they're doing, they know exactly where to place the anatomy, they know exactly how it should go, what the shape should be, and they do for the most part, right? What you don't see, I think, is a lot of the practice that goes into this. And just like a sport or let's just say a skill, sports probably, sports are skills, but let's just say any skill that you want to either master or get good at, you got to put in time to practice. You can't expect to sit down and be able to draw the human figure without at least some observation. Now, I will say there probably are some outliers that can look at something once and they're able to see the form, see the depth, see the volume of something. So I'm trying to think. Can see the foreshortening, and they can just do it. They can just draw it. That is, for instance, Kim Jung-gi. He makes these super detailed, intricate drawings just from memory. No construction lines, no underdrawing. It's just pen to paper, and they're amazing. But again, I think he's an exception to the rule. Anyways, back to my point here is that there's a lot of practice that goes into even the great artists that we see today in comics, in anything really. There's hours and hours and hours of putting pencil to paper, and probably nowadays it's nib to tablet, but still, it's still a lot of work. It's still a lot of practice. There's still a lot of observation that goes on into being able to really draw something that people recognize as a three-dimensional object on a two-dimensional piece of paper. Well, I guess the paper's three-dimensional, but you know what I mean. Two-dimensional surface. Anyways, what I'm getting at here is that one of the reasons that I'm putting up these videos is because I need this practice. Like and when I say need, I guess is I want the practice, right? I don't need it. This isn't my job. This is a hobby, 100% a hobby. I do this for fun. I do this because I enjoy creating stuff like this. I do get a kick when my kids see something and they think it's cool. So that is a benefit, a plus of it. And this picture here was kind of inspired by their two favorite heroes right now. My younger son loves Miles Morales. He'll probably tell me he doesn't anymore, but he does. And my older son is on a Iron Man kick as of late. And I think it's because he's been playing Fortnite and he just got an Iron Man skin. But so I decided to throw up two of their favorites here. And as you can see, I am struggling with this Iron Man pose. I had actually done some quick small sketches, thumbnail sketches if you want to call it that, of the poses that I want. The Miles Morales one, the Spider-Man one is pretty close to what I had. If I get tricky here, I'll put up either a screenshot or a quick little video of the my little sketchbook that I had done. And the Iron Man, I had this idea of him, you know, kind of flying in the opposite way with his hand out, you know, ready to fire. But it's more of a lunging pose, but it just doesn't work out here. Like it doesn't look right. I don't think so. And you know, to another point of this practice, this whole, you know, getting on here and doing more work by putting this out in public, I don't want it to look like shit. I know that for a lot of it is going to look like shit, but a lot of times in my sketchbook, I would probably just go with this. I would just leave it as is. You know, I wouldn't adjust anything. I mean, I've gotten better at that. Let's say in the past I wouldn't do that. I would just get to the point where I'm like, okay, this looks good enough. Let's continue with that. Anyways, but what I do here is at some point, I think in this video, like, I completely change how it is, and I can't figure out how to get him in perspective and foreshorten the correct way. And I think I ultimately, oh, there goes my screen. I ultimately change almost everything about it. I still don't like the placement because I didn't really, I just kind of changed the legs. And Spider-Man's hand is kind of in an awkward spot, I feel. So I'll probably change it some more. So here now I'm trying to put him more in, like he's coming towards the camera, right? And I think I've got it. Like I think, oh, okay, this is it. I got to get his leg out. I even make a note here, you know, smaller legs or something. I don't know when I do that, but we'll just leave it at that. You can see the other note I put for Spider-Man's foot. Like I need some reference on that. I just put it in there. I'll go back there and find a picture of a foot coming out like that and fix that. And I think I've almost got it, but I just can't get this bottom leg in perspective. And so I just keep scribbling. And this is my, I'm not gonna say style. This is how I work. Like I feel like I just put a bunch of lines on the paper until I get something that I feel looks what I want it to look like, and then I erase it. And I think some artists call it ghosting, or see the ghost lines. And then I draw over it. And I think I do that a couple of times here, just because I'm trying to clean it up a little bit. Anyhow, you can see right now I'm actually drawing on the paper, trying to figure out what this pose is going to look like. And I think I flip over the paper I'm using and trying to figure it out. I want it foreshortened. If you don't know what foreshortening is, I'll do a different video on that later. But I'm trying to get it basically looking like he's coming towards the camera. But I think I had it for a second, and then I lost what the legs should look like. And now I'm trying to do more of a, okay, he's flying in from the bottom of the page and kind of looping in towards the camera, still having his hand extended out like that. Oh, here we go. Here I'm trying to figure out what I want it to look like, and I just can't. I think at some point I erase everything, kind of start over. But anyways, one of the things I liked about this is that I just kept trying and I kept failing. and I tell my kids this all the time, like, you're gonna fail, but that's how you learn. And you know, I don't want to make this like some you know, soapbox preachy thing, but you do have to fail. You have to fail all the time in order to really learn. And so I like this. I like that I'm really kind of screwing this up, or at least I can't figure it out at first, and that I'm persevering. Yeah, persevering. I'm trying different things to see if I can get it to work out. I still have to finish this up a little bit. I haven't finished this sketch, so I think we will. Oh, here we go. I put the note: smaller equals foreground. I mean background. I did the same thing. I said it wrong. So I tried to make his legs look smaller so it looks like he's coming towards her, and it just, I couldn't get it right. So I think I just changed everything. I think I go in and I changed the whole torso. I'm happy with the Spider-Man pose for the most part. I really wanted him twisting. I think the chest is a little off now I look at it, but I'm probably not gonna worry about that too much. I think one of the plans I had for this when I started looking at this, because where I end up putting the legs, I think Spider-Man's hand is in a weird position, and so what I might do is eventually light box this onto another piece of paper and then move Iron Man over a little bit. I did notice also that I need to fix the Iron Man's head a little bit. It doesn't really show so much on this video, and maybe it will now. I'm cleaning it up a little bit, but on my paper it just looks squished a little bit. It looks like it needs to be up a little bit higher, and you can see the neck a little bit more, so I'm probably gonna fix that. Anyways, only got about a minute left here. I'll just finish this up, and hopefully we'll have a part 2 coming soon, and hopefully this is helpful for someone. I mean, this was helpful for me, just failing at this and kind of just keeping at it. And if you guys like this type of thing, or if you just want to see me do the cleanup version, I can do that as well. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully be posting the second part here soon. Hopefully not in 2 weeks, hopefully within this week, but we'll see. Thanks again, guys, and I will see you next time.